Okay, welcome back. This is day number two, puzzle number two. Little bit easier than the puzzle yesterday. This is a killer Sudoku with killer cages here. It's called Nuclei by James Sinclair. Another James Sinclair puzzle. Uh, the arrow we did yesterday was awesome, but hopefully this will be a little bit more approachable uh, for those who want to give it a shot. I'll link the description. I'll put a link to this puzzle in the description box so you can give it a go. Killer Sudokus are a good way to get started in the variant Sudoku scene. So, okay, I'll read the rules here. Normal Sudoku rules apply, and that means that every row, every column, and every 3x3 box have the digits 1 to 9 once each without repeating. And then it says killer cages. The sum of the digits inside each cage is equal to the small number in the top left corner, and digits cannot repeat within a cage. So, it has to say digits cannot repeat within a cage because if you look at here at this 15, these 5 cells will equal 15 according to the rules, but this cell could be the same as that if it wasn't for the cage because they're outside of the row, column, and box. But since they're in the same cage, they cannot repeat. And we know a little trick about 15 and 5 cells. So we'll go through that here when we get to solving. So, well, that's all the rules. It's pretty straightforward here. So let me restart the clock and we'll get going. Okay. I see a few things first off the bat. Just when you do a lot of killer cages, you get used to looking for things like this 15 cage. We know that the triangular number for 5 is 15. So if you added together 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 for 5 cells, that equals 15. So we know for a fact that that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now with a puzzle, if we look here, this line, puzzle is symmetrical. This side here looks like it could essentially fold over here. So when we see a clue like this, 15, my eyes are immediately drawn to the other side, not only because it's colored the same, but you see here this 35. Well, think about 35 in 5 cells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the only way we can get there is 9, 8, 7, 6, and 5. So that's pretty interesting. So that's the only way to get to 35 in 5 cells, and it's the only way to get to 15 in 5 cells. Highest and lowest there. So, okay, and a 17. 17 is 8 and 9. That's the only way to get 17 out of 2 Sudoku cells. So this 8, 9 bumps 8 and 9 out of all of those cells. So now we have a 5, 6, 7 triple. Now we have an 8, 9 pair. Okay, so that really limits what we can do with this cell. But okay. How about looking around here? Let's go to this 16. 16 cannot be 8 and 8. The digits can't repeat, so that's a 9, 7 pair. Makes 16, but that doesn't bump anything out. Let's see if there's any other givens, any freebies. Okay, this 5 is either 1, 2, or 3 or 4, but we know that the remaining digits here are 1, 2, 3, and 4 because everything else in the cages in the box is taken. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's look here. If that was a 1, that would have to be 12. So that's not 1. If it was a 2, it would be 11. So that can't be 2. If it was a 3, this would have to be a 10. So we know it can't be 3. So now we see, we get a digit. We get a 4. 4 plus 9 is 13. That kicks 9 out of that cell. So now we only have one place for 9 remaining. So that becomes a 9. Okay, with that 9 there, now we have a 5, 6, 7 triple in this cage. So that bumps 5, 6, and 7 out of there. And that becomes an 8. Bear with me. Okay, an 8. This 8 sees across to that, so that's 8, 9. Now we're making progress. So we got to take a 4 out of those guys because of that 4. So now we got a 1, 2, 3 triple. Okay, great. We're making a lot of progress. Okay, I'm looking here now. We got quite a ways here in this box number 7. So let's go back to box number 3 and ask a question. Where can a 9 go? And obviously 9 is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can't add anything to 8 or to a 2-cell 9 gauge. So there's only one place for a 9, which is right there, which sees the 7 and 9 at the below it, so 7. So that's handy. Now this guy, he can't be 7 and 1 to make 8. So it's either 6, 2 or 5, 3. Okay. Oh, well, we got these 9s looking down here, box number 9. Those we got 4 9s looking into box 9, so that gives us a 9 there, which is helpful. All right, I think we got most of the 9s here. So this 9 looks across, this one sees up. So this is either 9 5 or 9 and 2. Right? See if we see any other easy wins here. These 2 9s with pencil marking 9 up here. Just to keep going, feel like we got something. This 9 sees across there, there. Oh, okay, so now we got a 9 in one of those two. If that was a 9, that would be a 4. And if that was 4, then that would put a 4 there because you can't put 4s in any of those. Oh, okay. So 8s. Let's look at 8 in box number 4. This 8 sees those guys. And we can't have an 8 in a 2-cell 8 cage. So now we have 8s across there. And this 8 looks across. Okay, so now we got 8s either there, there, or there, there, or there. 8s in 3 places. Hmm. 8, 9. These cells are impacting here. 1, 2. Oh, what am I thinking? Oh goodness, this 4. This was looking at me. This can't be 1. So now we got a 2, 3 pair here looking at there for the 5. That makes that a 1. Okay. So now this 8 cage. So these 2 3s here looking up. So the 2, 3, 4 is out. So that could be, it had to be high. Looks like 5, 6, 7. Okay. interesting about this cell here is it cannot be this cell that's making blue. That guy can't be in those cells because it's in the cage. Can't be there. So he's in one of these 8 cages. Might be interesting. That one's the same. Oh no, delete the blue out of there. What am I missing? Oh, hold on, I got a call. Okay, sorry about that. I had to take a call. Okay. So let's see. Where are we? Okay. Oh, no, that's an easy. Okay, I got an easy win here. Where does 8 go in box number 3? I don't know why I didn't think of that before, but 8 can't be in his cages. He's not there. So that's an 8. 8, and that gives us a 1. The 1 looks down. That takes a 1 out of there. Okay, the 1 sees into this box, and we know we can't have 1 with a 12. And that 1 sees across, so now we have 1 there. 1 has to go with 6 to make a 7 cage. Okay, yeah, that's simple. I wasn't thinking. So here, now where does 7 go? 7 has to go up in. 7 can't be in that 8 cage, and it's not part of the 15. So 7 is with a 1 in that cage. So we got 7, 1. Now we ask where the 6 goes, and it's in there with a 2. So that's 2 and 6, which pulls a 2, 1 and 2 out of there. So that leaves 3, 4, 5. Knocks 3, 4, 5 triple, knocks 3, 4, and 5 out of that cell, makes that a 2, and it puts a 1 down here because now that's 2, 3, 4, 5. All we lack is a 1. Okay, we were I don't know what I was thinking. So this 6 looks across in box number 6, and we got these two 6s looking down. So there's only one place for 6, and that has to go with a 3, 3, 6. Now if you look, if we consider all of these 3 together as one unit, look, we have 3s here and we have 3s here. So now we say, okay, well, where does 3 go? That's column 7 and 8, have the 3s taken up. So now where does 3 go in column 9? Can't go in there, can't go in there, has to be down here. So that's just something interesting to know. I always look for those because they're pretty handy. Okay, we got 2s in this up here, looking down into this box, look across. So we have pencil mark 2s in this box. 2, 2's looking across. Okay, 8's. Okay, 8's looking into box 9. We got that 8, and that one. So that's taking up all of that. So we got a pencil marked 8 in box 9. 6. See this 6? It can't ever go in the 12 gauge. 2 cell 12 gauge would be 2 6s. And it sees that guy. So now we have a 6 in one of these 3 places. With that 6, it looks up, we have a 6 in here. I think that might be interesting. So I don't usually pencil mark 3 cells in a box, minus this 3 over here. But I think with this 14 gauge, since it can no longer be, it cannot be 8 and 6 now. It can't be 7 and 7. So it's going to have to be 9 and 5 in that 14 gauge. 9 and 5. since the 6s were knocked out on both of these. So that would help there. So these 9s look across. That takes a 9 out of there. That gives us a 9. Okay. 9, 5. This cell here. Okay. So it can't be 9 for the 11 cage. For 11, 9, 2 is out now. Could be 8 and 3. Could be, looks like it could be 7, 4 in that order. 7 there, 4 there, and then 5 and 6 is out. So it could be 8 and 3, 7 and 4. So that's too broad. Okay, how about 7 here? Let's look at this 7 across this way from there. So, and then 7 can't go in the 5 cage. And 7 would have to go with a 6 in order to be 13. So now we have 7 pencil marked in 2 places. Oh, this 12 gauge. Okay, perfect. Now we're talking about 7s. Let's look at this 12 gauge. It has to have a high digit, and it can't be 6 because 2 6s. And then it has 8 and 9, so there's obviously a 7 in one of those, and a 5 to equal 12. And those look over right there. So that knocks 5 and 7 out of there, gives us a 6. So we'll bump 6 out. 5, 7, 5, 7. Okay, perfect. So if we look here, these 7s commingle with these 7s, and then these 2. So now we got essentially 4 7s looking into box 9. So there's only one place for 7 in box 9 there. And now we have these 5s, and these 8s all looking down into box 9 as well. So 5 and 8 is out of there. 5 and 8 is out of there. So that's a 5-8 pair. And that knocks a 3 out of those guys. So 5, 8. Okay, 1s in box 9. That one, and that one. Place a 1 right there. 1 replaces a pencil mark 3. Okay, we're making some good progress now. These ones looking into box 5. That guy, and that guy. All see there, there, and there. So now we have a 1, 4 pair in box 5 to make the 5 cage. 1, 4. Okay, so now that that's 1 and 4, this can no longer be 9 and 4 to make 13. So that becomes 9, and that take a pencil mark place of a 7. Okay, this 9 looks up to there. 9 and 5. This 5 removes, that can no longer be 5. So there's okay, so there's a 5 in here is what I was getting at. This 2 sees that cell. That's a 2 and a 6. Now we're getting down to the wire in this column 9. See 1, 2, 3. We're missing 4, 5, and 8. And the 4 sees there, so there's a 4 in there for sure. 4. Okay, that trick again. If you look in these squares, this group, we got a 4 here and a 4 here. So now we say where does 4 go in row 4 and that 4. So there's a 4 in one of those 2 places. Not surprising. Now we got the 4s and the 8s. Ah, okay. Let's look at this pencil mark here. 3 and 6 sees across to this 8 cage. So 8 only has a few options, 3 different options. It could be 7, 1, 6, 2, or 5, 3. Can't be 4, 4. So, but this one sees 6 and 3. So now it has to be 7, 1, because it couldn't be 6, 2, or 5, 3. Otherwise, it would break this 9 cage. So these 1s see that. That becomes a 4. That becomes a 1. Now This 8 cage is restricted because it can't be 7-1, 6-2. It has to be 5-3, but we have 3 here, so that becomes 3-5. This 5 fixes those. 7 fixes those. The ones look up. We have 4 ones looking in box 1 now, so that becomes a 1. This 5 looks down here, 5 and 7. So now our 11 cage is really restricted. It sees 9, 7, 6, and 5. So I think the only high digit now left is 8. So that's going to be a 3-8 pair. And it's not quite. Oh, it is resolved. We got those two 8s looking there. So that becomes a 3. That becomes an 8. Now all we lack in the column is 2 and 4, which is resolved. And that 4 resolves that. So that's 2, 4. Okay, in this box number 2 here, we're missing 1, 2, we're missing 3, 6, and 7. We have 8 and 9. So that gives us a 2 here because it sees everything else. Okay, now we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, so 5 and 8 for the 13 cage. 8 resolves that. That becomes a 5, an 8. Okay, now if we look at row number 5 here, we're missing 2. Well, this 2 I see can't knocks the 2 out of there. So where does 2 go in row 5? It's over here. 2. And then while I was seeing that, I noticed this 4 knocks that 4 out. So that's a 4. And then now we're only missing 1, 2, 3. So we're missing a 5. This 5 looks down there. 5 and 8. Okay, now we have these 5s looking into box number 3, placing a 5 there. Knocks a 5 out of there. Now we got 3, 4 pair in box 3. Okie. Oh, this 2, see, it's fixing those. 2 and 3. These 3s looking into box 8. Plants a 3 there. 2, 3. So now we're missing 4 and 6. We got the 4 there. Fixes 4, 6. 1, 2, 3. Now we got a 4 there. And we're missing this 4. Fixes this up here. Box number 3. This 3 in here. 3, 6. So now we got this 8 looking into box number 6. 8, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this becomes a 6. That's a 2, 4. Okay. 3, 6 here. Looks across. That makes that a 7. Now we got 4 7s looking into box 1. So that's there, 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 there. Leaves us one place for a 7, which is there. We'll knock a 7 out of those. Okay. 6 in box 4 has to be in one of these two. So if you look here, the 6 and 4 knocks 6 and 4 out of there. So those two have to be 6 and 4, which bumps the 8 off of there. Because if this was 8, then this would have no value. So we knock the 8 out of there. That becomes a 4, 6 pair, which makes that an 8. We got 3 8s looking into box 1. Lands an 8 there. Okay, row number 3 is finished. with a 4. Okay, and that fixes our 4 and 6. We can have a 5 here. We got our 6 here, which fixes the 6 and the 3. And now this 2 sees that 2. Now that's 3. And that's the puzzle. 23 minutes, 44 seconds. I hope you did better. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a fun killer Sudoku. So, anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.